I ran into a bit of an issue while I was putting this together and kind of changed it up. It's still very social Wi-Fi, but I want to make it clear that I'm not talking about the technology that is provided by the Wi-Fi vendors specifically. It's more the data that's being gathered and what's being done with it, and what I think we need to do with that data. So, to start, who am I? I am Ryan Adzima. At Adzima on Twitter. I'm a blogger at techvangelist.net and co-host of Whiskey and Wireless, which, the headache. So, I'm also kind of a big deal. So with social Wi-Fi, we've all heard stories about what's gone on out there. The biggest one that usually comes up when anyone talks is the pregnant teen outed to her parents by Target. Based on the shopping habits and the loyalty programs that they're able to mesh together, they get behavioral preference, demographic information, and they're able to make predictive models of all of this information. And what they did is 2 weeks before she was going to tell her parents that she was pregnant, Target started sending coupons for diapers and cribs and all sorts of information like that. And her dad lost his mind on Target. And 2 weeks later went back and apologized to the manager because he then found out that she actually was pregnant. But then he was a little concerned as to how they knew when he didn't. What it came down to was the shopping habits, they were able to build these models out of the millions of records that they get from all their loyalty programs. They've set up scoring systems for different milestones in a person's life, different demographics that they want to target, different products that they want to sell. And they use those to trigger specific actions to happen. Like, congratulations, you're pregnant, here's some cheap diapers. And the pregnancy score, in this case, was most likely triggered by her uptick in vitamin purchases and a larger handbag to carry diapers, because those are the types of things that expecting mothers will buy. And Target was able to figure that out. So that's just shopping habits. That's without social Wi-Fi. That's without any sort of social network integration. Wi-Fi aside, that's without Facebook, Twitter, any of that. So now we have social Wi-Fi, and it's growing. The amount of users on these networks is just massive. So once a week, or less than once a week, is a very small percentage. Facebook is obviously the most highly utilized system out there. And as you get finer, you see that almost 75% of people on the network are using it daily. So how many people are on that network? 1.4 billion people are on that network. And Facebook is aggregating that information. 890 million daily active users, and it's growing at an astonishing rate. 18% growth over 2013 to 2014. Ask anyone in sales or anything, acquiring that kind of customer count steadily for almost a decade is huge. And 745 million mobile users. So of those active users, it's 745 million. So that led me to finding this professor at the University of Maryland, because I was looking for how all this information ties together. And there's the obvious things. You pull in someone's likes, you pull in all their information, and you just aggregate it together and build a profile. But how does the data science of it work? and I stumbled across a TED Talk by the director of Human Computer Interaction Lab at the University of Maryland. She's got an impressive resume, and this is the TED Talk that I found. The curly fry conundrum. I don't know why I clicked it, but it ruined my whole presentation because I redid this morning. Because it changed the way I looked at all of this. It's a more sociological approach instead of a scientific, mathematical approach. So the whole thing about it is the likes on Facebook. And what's the harm in a like? From a like, a single liked page, they're able to extract information that tells them likely what your age, gender, political preference, sexual orientation, and religion are. And that's kind of obvious. You know, we know what, you can kind of figure some of that stuff out. It gets a little iffy when you get into like My Little Pony because, but we can also get the personality score, the intelligence, how much they trust those they associate with, and how strong their relationships are based on that. Who in this room likes curly fries? Congratulations, you're smart. Based on that, they're able to pull in, based on a single page, a Facebook page for curly fries, they were able to figure out and map the intelligence of a massive group of people, and curly fries was the top indicator of intelligence in this study they did. Because the way it works is it's a sociological theory called homophily, and it means when you like something, you're going to hang out with people that like that also. We're all wireless engineers, and we all talk and hang out with wireless engineers. It's that same basic principle. It's a theory that was coined in the 50s, and it was used to explain the tendency to associate with others that are like you. But it never really caught on until about 2001 when the internet became this engine for mapping these associations. And it's been used a lot to explain things like why teens smoke and drink, because they hang out with people that are like them, and one of them does it, so it just kind of snowballs. So the curly fries weren't, it's not that you like curly fries that makes you intelligent. It's that one person created it, an intelligent person, they associate with intelligent people, so it just went from there. So the people that saw it were intelligent, and it just grew. So it created this network of intelligent people that happen to like curly fries. So using that information is fantastic unless companies can start taking it and mining it, doing your data, shopping habits, your health issues, pregnancies, all kinds of information, and creating maps of indicators of possible drug abuse, poor team skills, bad work ethics, and then selling to human resources companies. What if you don't get an interview because you're on a list? Because you might be a poor team player. And that's the kind of information that is out there and publicly available. So there's a lot of stuff that can be done, and most of it probably won't work. So government oversight, probably never going to happen. And if it does, it's not going to do anything. Self or third-party regulation, like PCI, enough said. Or using science to fight back by breaking the system. So using the same science that the data miners would use, create browser plugins that would indicate and hover. So if you go to click a like, you see a pop-up that says, this could associate you with these kind of people, and tell you, you may not want to do that. I like curly fries, but I don't want to be pegged as a drunk. That kind of thing. Even though, if anyone saw me last night. So it goes into educating consumers. It comes down to giving them the tools to make educated decisions about the risk that they're going into. By tarnishing the data, we can fight back against it. And like I said, this isn't specifically social Wi-Fi, but social Wi-Fi has provided the tools to start the mass collection of this data readily available. So I think that something needs to be done. I don't hate the use of it, but I don't like where it's headed. So thank you, and don't forget to like.